My
What do
stream
you,
is starting late today, but that's okay. I was focused on work and then I looked up and I was like, oh shoot, my stream was supposed to start already.
yeah, I instantly got a notification, so yay, YouTube. Hopefully everyone did.
I don't think anybody is in the comments yet, so we can just kind of jump right into things, I suppose. Um, I think a sprint, and then we can do intros when we have actual people watching.
That works.
All right, let's do it. This one. All right, three, two, one, go. Yay. All right. We had some people join us. We had Laura, hello, and CB, hello, and Spence, hello, and Nikki, hello. I finished watching your Dune video, Charlie, and I was reading some of the comments, and you have a lot of people in there that agree with you.
Yeah.
I'm like 50-50 on it. I liked the second half a lot. I felt like the second half was better than the first half.
Agreed.
But the first half skipped over too much. Like I feel like it just like skipped over to get to Leto's death as fast as possible. And like examples of things that I didn't like that they cut. The conversation between Dr. Yue and Jessica, would have loved to see that, because in the book I really, really feel for Dr. Yue a lot, because I feel like he's this good guy put in a really terrible situation trying to do the most good that he can with it. And in the movie I kind of just felt nothing for him. Like they got the part where he helps them, but like that's it. Like you barely interacted with him for the whole beginning, and then it's like I feel nothing. The part where they had Duncan going to live in the siege and then they called him back to watch Jessica and he was all pissed off about it. They cut that out completely. The fact that he was training to be Paul was training to be a mentat, cut that out completely. They didn't even mention the Butlerian Jihad, which is like the most important event in history of the world at this point. They didn't have the conversation at the beginning. I was really disappointed. I feel like they nailed the Gum Jabbar part of like the hand in the box and having it flash between the like the flames and the scorched hand thing, because that's how it described the pain in the book. Mm-hmm. But then the whole conversation that happens afterward was just completely eliminated. Where she talks about the Butlerian Jihad and about the Kwisatz Haderach and about like all that stuff. It's all gone. They didn't have it at all.
I mean, if I was able to sum my feelings for the movie up, is really succinctly, is it was trying to be this like really high art, like postmodern, beautiful film, while trying to simplify everything so a mass audience could possibly follow the story. And in trying to do both, it's generic story where no one has motivation, no one has a character arc.
Here's the thing. They didn't even do a good job at appealing to a mass audience, because I have a friend of mine who watched the movie like a little bit after I did. They watched it at home on HBO and was texting me the whole time. I have no idea what's going on. I don't understand what's happening. This is so confusing. I'm so mad at this movie right now. I don't know what's going on. They cut out so much exposition and detail from the movie that people who haven't read the book don't understand what's happening. Like,
and it only made $40 million on its opening weekend, and for a movie with this budget, like, you know, I wanted to like it. I wanted so bad. I wanted to like it so much. I kept making excuses for it, like, well, maybe, but okay, well, maybe they're no.
Just okay, so one thing that really got me when Leto died on the movie, I actually cried. Not because they did a good job getting me to connect to him in the movie, but because he's my favorite character in the book, and I've read the book, and because I've read the book and I understand everything that they left out, I connected to his death and I cried because of that. If I hadn't read the book, it wouldn't have affected me at all. I would have been like, oh, that sucks, that guy died. Oh, another thing they cut out that really bothered me was in the tent scene. Like, I feel like they did a good job when he yelled at his mom and got mad at her. But when he was talking about like his vision of the Holy War and all the blah, 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 he specifically says, they will call me Muad'Dib, and he didn't mention that at all. And they did that too. And they even included the symbolism about the field mouse or the desert mouse or whatever being able to survive. But they didn't mention Muad'Dib.
Yeah, if you don't know why the field mouse is important, like, that's where he gets his name from. his
he got
friendly
his
name.
name. He said they're gonna call me Muad'Dib, and he doesn't speak the language. So then when he gets there in the siege, he's like, "Hey, what's the word for a desert mouse? That's what I want to be called." And they're like, "Oh, it's Muad'Dib," and he's like, "I fucking told you so."
Like I just,
And they got the symbolism about the mouse, but they didn't have him say that that's what they're going to call him, which is part of like why he's so impressive, is because he can like he gets visions of the future and can predict things, because not only is he trained in the way of the Bene Gesserit, he's also been trained as a mentat his entire life without his knowledge. So he's got super computer brain.
so I think the thing that's really gonna like confuse a lot of people is my next review that I've got scheduled for probably Wednesday or Thursday is of the Foundation series, which doesn't follow the book hardly at all, and it's brilliant for that. Because the book is unfilmable. It's one of those things, like if you tried to translate the book into a movie, it would be boring. It would make 2001 A Space Opera look like an action film. Like it's a bunch of people in boardrooms talking
I
for
think Dune,
3,000
in terms
words, or
of
300,000 words.
in terms of adaptation for Dune, the best option, if they insist on it, make it a TV show like Game of Thrones. I know that they botched the ending of Game of Thrones, but that's because the series isn't finished being released yet. All of Dune is out. They can do it.
And doing Foundation as a TV series, it made me do things that the book never could. I have emotional connection to the characters. And don't get me wrong, I love the Foundation series. I love those books with all my heart, but there are a lot of stuff to think about. And the fact that they were able to keep the themes of the book while giving me characters that I actually feel something for. I hated Hardin in the book. Hardin is just like, why do you exist in the book? Selva on the show, oh, I'm heartbroken. I want so much good things to happen, and I think that's really smart, because sometimes a direct adaptation is not possible. You just need to be inspired by.
They're making Wheel of Time into a TV series. Like, why can't they do that with Dune?
Because I think books especially do better as TV shows than they do as movies. Because they just have too many moving parts.
So I plugged it in.
Okay. I'm looking after my niece because she was exposed to a COVID positive person on Tuesday and is out from school. She's already got tested, but she can't go back to school till the end of the week.
My parents are out of quarantine. They're better.
Like her rapid test and everything came back negative, but she's gotta stay home from school still. So I think she gets to go back either tomorrow or Thursday. I'm not sure. But, yeah, she was sitting next to a kid that tested positive in class, and so yeah. And I don't think this school has a mask mandate. I'm not sure.
In CB, I think it would actually work best as an anime. I think anime stories have been dealing with a lot of the themes that Dune does, and a good anime studio. Like, you could do a Studio Ghibli style anime that's just gorgeous and epic and grand. Or I think you could, if you just wanted to focus in on the politics and the intrigue. But I think the visuals and stuff, I think it would work really well as an anime.
Whoever created Attack on Titan would do a good, or Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, they would do a good job.
I can't remember the name of the studio that did the Ninth Jedi in the Star Wars Visions collection that just came out, but they found a way in like a 9-minute short to give me grand, sweeping, epic scenes and a very intimate story with a strong political theme in 9 minutes. So I think that studio could do it. Because if you could do that with like a short film, imagine what you could do with space.
Oh, another thing in the movie that bothered me was when she hired the housekeeper and the housekeeper gave her the crysknife. There's that whole thing about the housekeeper taking the knife back and cutting her chest because the knife needs blood before you can put it away. And they didn't even do that.
Yep.
Like, she just put it away. And I'm like, wait a minute. You're not supposed to do that.
Watered down.
And like, so there was all these sweeping scenes of just like atmosphere where it was just quiet, and it was like, that was like over half the movie of just like ambiance. They could have cut out like at least 50% of that and included more conversation to not cut out the exposition. Like, I just don't understand why he felt the silent views of the desert were more important than exposition.
I know it's the meanest thing I said in the review video, but like I really felt like he had Lawrence of Arabia envy. Because there were so many shots that I can like take you to Lawrence of Arabia and show you the exact same shot.
Oh my god. Okay, funny story really quick. The movie theater that I went to is like a vintagey style theater, and they've got like an arcade and all this kind of stuff. But they have a bunch of vintage movie posters like all over the place. And right next to Dune, the one that that Dune was playing in, 2001: A Space Odyssey, Lawrence of Arabia. No joke. And then the door was in between them. I'm like, I didn't get the Lawrence of Arabia reference of that. Like, I don't know if they did that on purpose or if it was coincidental, but I noticed the 2001: Space Odyssey, and I was like, ah, look at that. And Jordan's like, oh yeah, that's funny. Lawrence of Arabia was on the other side.
Yeah, because I like that movie. It's a fun movie. The book's different and interesting. If you've ever read, what is it, 7 Pillars of Wisdom, or is it just Pillars of Wisdom? Anyway, the book that Lawrence of Arabia was based on, there's a lot more homoeroticism and BDSM in the book because Lawrence had issues.
One of the atmospheric scenes that they could have included that they didn't for some reason was there's a scene in the book where Leto is looking out the window and he's watching the people with the dew collectors come and collect all the dew off the grass. And that's something they could have included to emphasize the importance of water on the planet, but instead we got multiple shots of the desert. It's like, you could have included that scene of him just standing there, like looking out the window and watching them collect like these silo or hook things, collecting the dew off the grass. But
I think the maddest moment I was in the movie, because like you, I love Leto, I love his character so much, was when he has one meeting with Stilgar that's kind of lukewarm. And Stilgar leaves the room and he's just like, solved it, it's all fine now, look, we have allies. We're just like,
that scene is a lot longer in the book.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot longer. And there was a lot of people because it was during like a council meeting, I think. So all the people were there, and he just comes in and it's just Leto and Gurney and like one other person and Duncan, and then he like spits on the table. Like, first thing he does is spit on the table, and it's like, I don't think that happened until later in the scene because he listens to Leto talking for a while, and then he's like, okay, spit on the table.
It's just the way they played it off, where at the end he's just like grabs Paul and goes, see, your father did it. And I'm just like, no, you didn't. You had one lukewarm conversation with a guy who's like, maybe we don't kill you today, just leave us alone. That's not like great to play. Like, I don't know.
Oh, another thing they cut out was there was a bunch of talk in the book about Leto was wanting to do like this climate ship thing that was going to make it rain or something. They didn't even mention that. They didn't have any of that stuff. And they just basically they just skipped as many scenes as possible to get to Leto's death as quickly as they could.
One of the commenters asked what I would have done to change it. And that was actually one of my suggestions, is that so much of the book is about the ecology and, planetary resources, and treatment of indigenous people. And with all those being topics that are very much in the, global discussion right now, I think you could have focused in on just those aspects of the book and made a very interesting topical movie that more people would have related to. Like, there's so many opportunities. There were so many opportunities.
Maybe something that some people don't know about Dune, but the Dune was inspired by the sand dunes in Florence, Oregon. The author Frank Herbert was writing for an article for a magazine about the dunes. He did a ton of research on them. Didn't end up writing the article, but he wrote an entire series based off of the information he got from that. And so, like, yeah, the ecology and stuff is central to the book because it's inspired by that research that he did for that thing. But there was just one of the things that he had said in an interview, because I did a bunch of research on this because I did a book report about Dune in college. He had said he wanted Dune, he wanted a sci-fi set way in the future that focused on humans and how they would adapt in the future without the help of technology, which is why there's no computers, etc. Why he created the Butlerian Jihad and all that kind of stuff, because he wanted to focus on humanity and how they would adapt without technology, which he did in the book, but they barely mentioned any of that. I think it's funny too, because in the '84 movie, how the Mentats had the huge bushy eyebrows, and in this movie they didn't have any eyebrows. Another thing I didn't like with the Baron, he's supposed to have the suspensor outfit thing on, that even though he's grotesquely obese, like huge, massive, like 800 plus pound guy, his legs only carry about 50 pounds of it, is what it says in the book. So it's like he's this huge, massive guy that like kind of just floats on the ground. Not like actually floats, but just kind of, it looks like he's kind of floating because his legs only carry about 50 pounds worth of weight because of his suspensor things. Yeah, in this version too, they have him floating. Why?
And I love Starford as an actor. I think he's a great actor. I've enjoyed him in so many things. I do think it was a choice to make him talk like Ian McDermott. Like
yeah,
that was a very clear choice on their part.
They also didn't mention any of the Baron's like pedophilia and incest, which like, yeah, I get why they would cut that out, but there's also like a big theme throughout the whole series is that kind of stuff.
Right. Also, the biggest theme in the whole thing is Baron Harkonnen is Paul's grandfather.
Yeah, and they like that. I mean, that's not mentioned until later in the book, so it's probably going to be in part 2. But like, there's a scene in the book, because they cut out a lot of the scenes that were in the book from the book when it cut over to the Baron. They cut out a lot of that stuff. But there's a scene in the book where Baron, like, after he has some sort of council meeting, or whatever, he tells one of his servants to go get the boy that looks like Paul. I don't think the Baron at this point knows that Paul is his grandson, but he wants to have sex with his grandson because he specifically chose a sex slave that looks like his grandson. And they, like, I get why they would cut that out of the movie. It's not something that's appealing to a large audience, but it shows how horrible of a person the Baron is. Also, that stuff is included in the book in a not so flattering light, because that's the kind of stuff that the author was like, this stuff is disgusting. So all these people that do this stuff are disgusting, and I'm going to emphasize that heavily in the book, that it's disgusting.
I just think that there are better ways to make your villain a villain other than just making them Emperor Palpatine light.
Like, he's a villain because he's disgusting. Like, he's physically gross. Not like he's just gross. He's a pedophile. He's super, like, incestual. He's just a horrible person all around in every way, shape, and form. Like that's why he's a villain, because he's horrible and he's disgusting.
Yep.
And yet in the movie, all we get is that he's just kind of like the puppet of the Emperor. Because the Emperor is the evil one. Even though we never see the Emperor in the movie. And I think in the book, we don't see him until the end of the book.
No, yeah, we don't see him till about the end.
But also, I didn't like that they started the movie so soon before the beginning of the book. Like the beginning of the book starts with the Gom Jabbar,
Yep.
and the Gom Jabbar doesn't happen until like 30 to 40 minutes into the movie.
But pageantry, Meadow, pageantry.
And
He needs so many slow shots and pageantry.
oh, the character that Sting plays wasn't even in this movie. Even though he's
Yeah,
in this part in the book, he is like seen a few times. He doesn't become important until the second half, so he's gonna be in part 2 of the movie. But like, he wasn't even in here.
I think it's really important to remember that's an if, because unlike Peter Jackson, the sequels were not guaranteed going into this. And Denis Villeneuve is having a big fight with the studio right now, and is being very public about how much he hates them and never wants to work with them again. So
I had heard that it was already greenlit, but I could have been misinformed.
there's a very good chance that this is it.
Well, maybe people will learn. Dune is just not meant to be a movie. I think it could make a good Game of Thrones style TV show. That's about as much as I'm willing to go for that. It just makes me sad. Leave the dog alone, Noelle. All right, we should do another sprint, and I'm gonna type that Laura can come back now because she's like, I'm putting you on mute. Noelle's being obnoxious.
I wish I had that much energy.
All right. Leave the dogs alone. I'm not going to tell you again. Stop chasing them.
I do remember a time in my life when I did have that much energy. And I thought, it will always be like this.
I no longer have that much energy. I don't know. I ranted a while about Dune, so we can move on now.
Yeah, at some point in the not too distant future, the hubby's going to wander in and be like, I finally have the energy to go pick up something for lunch.
Mommy.
But yeah.
Put your draw on the paper, Mommy. Please.
Let me see. You want to draw on this paper? Okay, come over here.
Oh, draw right there.
Here.
I'm gonna draw on there.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'm gonna draw.
You want to say go for the sprint?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Go!
Ooh. Hello, electric car ad. How are you doing today?
Yay, ads.
How are you?
That's not the ad.
Oh, you're a life sometimes, child. You are life. Oh,
Other foot. Other foot. Grab your coat out of that basket right there.
Okay. This one?
Yep. Come here. They're gonna go play outside for a little while.
to play. I remember this.
Here.
They're gonna get the heck out of my hair.
No, we're not.
Oh, you're not gonna get out of my hair?
We're not gonna get out of your hair.
You're gonna stay in my hair?
No, we're not.
No. I am. We're not gonna stay in your hair.
Okay.
I am.
All right, go play outside for a little while.
That was kind of my everything. No, we're not.
You forgot.
Go away.
I
Love you.
know what
Bye.
Bye.
I don't know what kind of silliness you think's going on here, but we're gonna be all up in your hair. Oh, that's just
Kids, man. Kids.
kids. What's the matter with kids today? Kids can't understand a single thing they say.
I brought my gaming chair thing with me because it's been sucky trying to sit here on just the mattress to play video games when I have no back support. So I brought that with me. Because the only thing I have to sit on is either the mattress or this stool. And the stool is tall enough for me to sit here and work. But
No
when I'm
back
going to be
support.
like, yeah, it's no back support, which I don't like because I have a tendency to slouch forward when I don't have anything to lean back against. And so then my shoulders and my ribs and, when I have something to lean back against, my posture's a lot better. But
No posture. I feel like you're a persistent illusion that I chase.
it's difficult for me to remember to, sit up, shoulders back, but whatever. So I got this clipboard at the store that came with this pad of paper that I think it's supposed to be for like maybe taking notes on school because it says date and topic and then it has questions, ideas, action like a to-do list and then just a big section for taking notes.
That's interesting.
I thought it would be cool for me to like keep track of my day-to-day stuff with it maybe. And then it's a clipboard on the front. So you can take a page out and
That's cool.
I got it at Target.
So during that sprint, I don't know, the thumbnail's finished. It's fine. If I've learned anything from my Dune video blowing up, I put way too much effort into things. So the video is trying to upload. Well, it's uploaded. It's just processing. It will come out when it comes out. It's just a channel update because there are a lot of changes going on to both my YouTube and Twitch channel. And they're all good, but a lot of changes and just explaining everything that's going on with all that. So that will be out later today. And I have a birthday boy who is sitting here and not so patiently waiting for me to run off so that he can get more of his presents and some birthday lunch.
She wants to go up to
I
Grandma's.
love that smile that you just put on your face, like that Cheshire cat smile. Like, yeah, that's what this is.
You guys can go up to Grandma's. That's fine.
Yeah. My mommy said you didn't want to risk me giving it to.
Oh well, if you then no. If you can't both go, then no. Just play outside for a little while, and then come in, and you can finish your homework stuff when your computer's charged.
We really want you to go up there, though.
I know, but your mom said you can't go up there, so you can't go up there.
I don't think I have it.
If your mom said no, then that means no.
You know.
It doesn't matter if you have it or don't have it. If your mom said no, then you can't go up there. Oh, I also got these tabs for my bullet journal that are like.
Spence.
Also, look, it's my first watercolor painting.
Oh, that's really pretty. And I'm in my mid 40s. I have no idea what the kids call anything these days. But no, we have to go up. We're going up to my parents' house because they called down because he has presents waiting for him there. And then we're going to go pick up Chinese from town and then probably play Don't Starve together for the rest of the day.
I lost my mouse. The hell?
If he gets his druthers, probably play Don't Starve
right there in front of me. I'm like looking all around for my mouse, and it was literally sitting right here in front of my eyeballs. Are you guys gonna play outside?
No. I am.
Hey, go outside. I'll come get you in like 30 minutes.
That's not the problem. We've explained this. Yeah. Alrighty. So I'm gonna head out so that can happen.
Do you want to outro?
Sure. Hi. My name is Charlie. I'm the one that did the Angry Dune rant. Apparently that's going to be my new claim to fame for a bit. It's better than hi, I'm Charlie. I'm the one who pissed off the entire country of Switzerland. So I'm happy. Yay. I do videos here on the YouTubes. If everything holds to form, there will be 3 videos coming out on the channel every week. More on that in the video that's actually coming out later today. I also stream over on Twitch at twitch.tv/CE Dorsett, where you can find me doing various chaotic things on Wednesdays and Fridays starting at 5 p.m. Eastern. Thursdays starting at time zone. Why are you? If memory serves, 2:30 Eastern, an hour before Coffee Bunny Cafe, which I believe is 2:30 Eastern. I will be recording the podcast live and then doing a Q&A talk like we did last week. Really had fun with that, so we will be doing that over on Twitch from now on Thursdays. And I also do music as Project Shadow, which you can find wherever fine music allows mine to be next to it. I have a new album that's in the works. It should be out in the not too distant future. I'm actually currently working on his song right now. So I haven't figured out exactly. I want it to be 8 to 12 tracks in total, and I believe when yours is done, that'll make 7, I think. So it is almost done. So yay! I am also, just to break everybody's hearts now, probably doing a sci-fi story for Nano because saw a movie, made angry. I already have one novella written in a sci-fi series, wrote 3 chapters in one and another in a follow-up to it yesterday. And I'm just gonna follow this rabbit down whatever path it leads me and see what comes of it.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
I know. I'm hoping I can get the sci-fi stuff out of the way and do the vampire stuff in I'm hoping to get the sci-fi stuff out of the way this week, and then do vampires next month. But
yeah,
I watched a movie. It made me angry.
Jayce isn't going to be able to do as much vampire stuff for Nano as he wanted because of a client thing that got scheduled.
Alrighty. So
I'm also not ready for Nano.
Oh, not ready is kind of my thing for Nano. Anyway, have the fun, everybody. Be all the productives, and I will see you when I see you. Bye.
Thanks for joining. And then there was me. Alrighty. Sorry about ranting about Dune for so long, but I had a lot of feelings. So, yay. And the kitties are playing outside. So I should take advantage of that so I can work. So let's do a sprint, I suppose. 3, 2, 1, go. Or not? You're not going to load. I see how it is. There it goes. Yay. Rock and roll, baby. The kids did not stay outside for very long. So, yeah, they're back inside now. And, Noelle's annoying, but, you know, what can you do? She's a toddler. I need to get more work done. I haven't been able to get nearly as much as I have been wanting to done today. And she just dumped a bunch of crayons on the floor. I wish I was too ready, but I haven't even officially nailed down which project I'm going to work on. So, yeah. That's annoying. I told Noelle to clean up the crayons that she dumped on the floor, and I don't hear any picking up of crayons happening. Clean them up, please. And that's what I have to deal with. See, behind this bookshelf and desk and whatnot is some curtains, and on the other side is where Noelle is, and she can fully hear me, but is ignoring my instructions. It's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. It's all right. I want to complete 5 chapters before I have to go pick up my niece from school. I have to leave it in an hour and a half, so I need to do 2.5 more chapters.
Mommy, clean it up, please. Mommy, please come here and clean it up.
I'm not the one that dumped him out.
Can you please clean it up?
I'll be there in a minute, Noelle.
Okay, I'm cleaning it up.
I'll be right there.
Stay here.
Well, I guess I gotta go help Noelle, so another sprint, I suppose.
Don't move. There.
3, 2, 1.
Go.
I don't know how long the timer's been out for, but I was helping my niece with her homework because she's having a homeschool right now while she's quarantining. So, all right. So we've done 4 sprints. It's been 2 hours. I'm gonna help her finish up her homework, and then do some more work of my own and whatnot. So thank you guys for being here. Sorry I started late today. I was working and I lost track of time. So, yay. All right. Oh, it was just a couple minutes. Cool. My name is Meadow. I do my live streams on Tuesdays. I'm not doing my evening stream right now because I'm at my family's house and everybody's here in the evening and it's loud and crazy. So, no Friday night rights right now. They will continue when I go back home halfway through November. I am thinking about doing pop-up streams here and there for November. Like, I streamed every single day last November, and I want to do that again. They will be sometime in the mid-afternoon-ish. So, yeah. Thank you guys for being here, and I'll see you next week.